All right. I think we're live. Awesome.
Let's do it.
Let's see. I'm joined today by a man that has built himself up in order to conquer many areas, including business, money, dating, fitness. I mean, the man can even sing and dance. It's almost unfair. So despite that, I'm very happy to introduce you to Justin Waller. Justin, man, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, man. There's no way somebody in the war room is going to get in touch with me, want to do a show, and I'm going to say no to that. So
I very much appreciate it.
Honored and happy to be here for sure.
And also, like, full credit to you for suggesting we go live. I much appreciated. I didn't even think about that, but that was an awesome suggestion right there.
Absolutely, man. I generally don't have anything to hide, so why not just do it live? Maybe you can grab a super chat or two, and I think that interacting with the people that watch the show is always for the best as well, so they can get real responses in real time. So it's good.
Makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Well, let me start at the beginning. I've had the chance. Well, we have the chance to spend a bit of time in Dubai together. I've already interviewed your good friend Sterling Cooper. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, there's a lot about you that I don't know. So one thing that I do know is that you didn't start out with the silver spoon in your mouth. So can you tell me, like, how did young Justin become current Justin in a bird's eye view?
Yeah, so I think a lot of times in life, you either go one or two paths. You either go the route of the people around you, or you see what's going on around you and you want to go the exact opposite way. I think for me, it was just the latter.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for my upbringing. I feel like it's a huge part of my character and everything about me. So I would never change that. But I think just circumstantially, it was something I kind of evaluated and said, hey, you know what? I don't think I want to do this. I see some kids that are doing better in their situations. So, I think that there's more to it than what I see at home. So I wanted to go the entrepreneurial route. I knew that when I was a junior in college. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. We're on the way to play Arkansas, actually. It was a long bus trip. And from there, I feel like just like any other red-blooded American male, you want to compete and do your best. Came from a sports background. So once sports are over, business and trying to get a good job or trying to start your own business, it just made a lot of sense to me. Fitness was always there. And that's kind of what got me going in the very beginning, for sure.
True. And like what you're saying is, like, some people choose that path and some people don't, which is interesting because you'd assume that everyone had the same choice or has the same choice, right?
Right.
And if you look, like, if I remember correctly, you didn't grow up exactly rich, like more the opposite.
No, man, no. I mean, like, we grew up with so I've probably lived in 3 or 4 different trailer parks. We lived in a small house in a kind of a rough little neighborhood for a little while, and then we lived in kind of like a bit of a shack scenario in the middle of the woods at one point, and we had a house fire. And then to magically get our money to try to build our house, so we lived in a trailer after the house fire, and then we started building the house, never finished it because we ran out of money, and so we had another house fire. So nothing to do with me. Somebody in the family, I feel like, is probably an arsonist, but and knows how to work a insurance claim. But yeah, man, it's just, like I said before, I super don't look at it as something that I look back and pity. I'm so grateful for my upbringing. I think that if you grow up with too good of an advantage or too much, security around you, that I think it can make you kind of lackadaisical, a little lazy.
Soft.
Yeah, soft. I think that if you start off at the top, then you really have nowhere else to go in a lot of ways. And I think the upbringing that I had, with the rigidity that was involved in it and the things that I saw and the things I experienced, were absolutely a part of me in every way now. And I couldn't be more grateful. I feel like I like to share that because I believe that a lot of people are going through things, especially when they're coming up. And I feel like it's very important to reframe those things, to look at the advantages they bring rather than the handicaps that some people unfortunately feel like they have. So any handicap I've ever encountered in my life, I feel like I've really been good at flipping it to the positive, or why it would help me later, or why it made me stronger than somebody that had a easier upbringing. So you always want that edge. You want to believe you have an edge. And so sometimes if you're given a quote unquote handicap, sometimes it makes more sense to repackage it and look at it as an attribute or a code of honor or some badge of honor that you were able to go through something and still overcome. So that's how I look at it. I have no anger in my heart about it towards anyone. And in fact, because I do so many podcasts, it makes me think about it all the time. And every time I think about it, it's the same thing. It's like, I'm glad I'm from where I'm from. So
yeah, it's an interesting question. Like I get the question all the time. Like, do you have any regrets? And or you get the question about your past. And I mean, it's interesting you say that, because you're sort of forced to look back on it, because for the longest time I never did. Like you're just moving forward.
Yeah, you don't think about this shit anymore.
No, it's not real. Right? It's all.
And you know what? Before I started doing podcasts and things like that, I never really thought about it. It's only when somebody asks you that it takes you back kind of down the time track of your life and makes you think, okay, well, what was that like? Because I don't really live in the past very much. I'm either in the present or looking towards the future more than anything else. So I think it's good to reflect back on some things and kind of rework out why you might feel certain ways about certain subjects. But yeah, man, outside of being asked the question, I don't think about it very often.
No, I mean, there's not much there, is there? Like it's gone, it's done.
Yeah.
It's kind because it's over. That's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have my notes correctly, you come from a family of 5, so you have 2 brothers, 2 sisters.
Yeah, so I'm the oldest of 5. Yeah, so actually 6. My dad so there was 5 of us growing up in the house.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, and so it was 2 boys. 3 boys and 2 girls. Yeah, I was the oldest.
And are they doing well as well, or totally different?
We live completely different lives, man.
Yeah,
completely different lives. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Just different lives. Love them. Love all of them. I don't. I actually have a photo of all of us together from, I would say, probably about 6 years ago. And even then, I stick out like a sore thumb. I'm the one that doesn't belong for sure. But
you stick out like a good sore thumb, I assume.
Yeah, it's a good sore thumb.
Yeah.
But and there's no beef between us, so we're all good. We don't like hang out a whole lot, but we're definitely on good terms. We definitely, talk, speak, text.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can be very different. I get what you mean. So you're the oldest. You grow up, and then you get into sport. You get into football, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have a knack for it. You're pretty good at it.
Yeah, the thing about football is I did karate and kickboxing growing up, baseball, basketball, football.
Holy shit.
And by the time I had gotten to high school, I'd quit doing all the karate and the kickboxing stuff.
Yeah.
And I played football, baseball, basketball. I decided to quit playing basketball and baseball because football scholarships are full rides in America. Whereas if you play baseball, a lot of times they pay for your books or they pay for this or that, but they don't pay for everything.
Yeah.
I needed a meal ticket out. So I quit playing basketball, quit playing baseball. Baseball is probably my favorite of the 3, but football is my most likely to get school paid for.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like this transactional business decision I had to make my sophomore year of high school. And so I decided to play football only. And I I was able to get myself onto a roster and then earn a scholarship that way. Wasn't a very big football school. Wasn't a lot of recruiting going on, but I was able to get it done. And so I'm very grateful for it. I learned a lot playing college football. I wouldn't say I learned a lot in the classroom, but football was very, very character building in the sense of understanding what it means to show up, go through physical pain. It's very much a combat sport. It takes a lot of mental toughness, and I think that really helped me prepare for business and life. So team game, really, really, really good experience for me. Cost me a shoulder, but outside of that, I think that the things that I took from it, I came out on the winning end, including.
What happened to your shoulder, man?
So I tore my labrum my redshirt freshman year.
Oh, nasty.
And I've had 4 surgeries since, including a total replacement. So if I don't know if I can show you this or not. I've got a scar, like literally.
Oh man.
From like here to here, yeah. It's yeah. So it makes it interesting trying to get workouts in because the range of motion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
like in terms of sparring or boxing, can you do that?
Yeah, I could. It's pretty painful. But it is what it is. It's just when you throw that punch, you know, I can feel it here. Yeah. I still train a bit. Yeah. I definitely try to work out as much as I can around it. And I mean, I sparred the other day, so it's just something that if I beat on it enough, you know, it's like having no brake pads. I
see what you mean. But so despite the total replacement, it didn't heal back fully.
It didn't fix it. It didn't fix it. I think it's more of a ligament thing. They still don't know. I need more surgeries. They're trying. The next surgery I would have to try to get is what they call an exploratory surgery, where they try to go in there and find out, you know, what's wrong with it. You know, and there's guys who are like, I can do stem cells, dude. I've done all this shit. I've done the stem cells, the PRP, and all these different things, man. It's definitely like it's a surgery type thing, unfortunately. Can't find a doctor.
Get you on the RoboCop program, man. Get that cyborg arm. That would be awesome.
Is it?
Right? Yeah. Just, you know, the whole metal arm. That would be cool.
Yeah, man. I might just go Terminator on it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
It hasn't slowed me down that much. You know.
No, obviously not.
Yeah, it's just simple. It's like little shit. Like I'll take a strap and put it around the bar. Yeah. So I can squat and put a hoodie on. Yeah. And so that it helps catch the bar. So I mean, I still squat and lift and basically it doesn't slow my life down. I just have to find ways to work around it. And look, man, honestly, as far as life lessons go, it's like those are the little things, like getting around the little bullshit in your life. Is what allows you to win in big ways. You know, I could let the shoulder is a plenty good excuse not to train. I mean, it's chronically fucked up. I have a replacement. I got a replacement at 33. There's no fucking way I'm not training, bro. No fucking way. And I think that even though it's not this huge, crazy uphill story like Rocky, it's a getting past a little bullshit in life that allows you to be consistent is what makes you really win in a big way. So whether it be a shoulder or a learning disability or whatever small excuse or barrier you have in your way, I think it's important to always try to find a way around it.
Yeah. Stop being a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then at one point you got fat, right?
Yeah, man. Bro, mostly after my surgeries, I get fat.
That's like an American tradition.
Do what?
It's like an American tradition getting fat.
Yeah, I mean, bro, look, I don't put up with it, bro. I'll go hard on myself. I normally stay within 2 weeks of looking like real good. Yeah. I walk around year round with a 6-pack. It's just how much I'm going to have on the side. You know what I mean? Like I got all 6 abs right now. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. But I've been training. So I've been, boxing and lifting, things like that. If I could put those cigars down, man, I'd really be able to get after it. But,
well, I don't want to tempt you. Like I can keep it off screen if you want.
Bro, you know what's funny though? It's like now people buy me cigars, so now I always have them. Dude, I'll smoke one with you, Thomas.
Yeah.
We go in there and grab a cigar and a cutter.
So
Bro, I'm telling you, I came home. I got a note on my desk from a beautiful young lady saying, I heard you were home. I wanted to bring these over. So somehow she got them in my office. So she has her ways.
You know, the struggle is real, man.
Bro, I know it's a hard life. I have a hard life, bro.
Yeah, I know.
So
you get like you get injured. I assume like this sort of messes with your football career.
yeah, but you know what? Like, I wasn't going to play in the NFL anyway. You know, like, one thing I hate, they got all these Uncle Rico ass guys, right, that played college sports, and they're like, I would have went pro, but
Yeah.
when people ask me, they're like, hey, Justin, why you didn't want to go to the NFL? Fuck yeah, I want to go to the NFL. It wasn't good enough. Like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, why didn't you go to the NFL? I don't know. Because there was like 50 black dudes bigger and faster and stronger than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Why? I got my school paid for. You know,
Yeah.
I was on a video game. It was a good time. I'm very appreciative. You know,
that was awesome. No, I see
Lighter.
your point. Like I had a similar experience with
That's
playing with playing like a semi-professional sport, and then you just at a certain point you just see that some people are just way better at this than me, and I'm not gonna catch up to them. Like, I'm good, but I'm not like their level. So sure, that's just it, right? It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it, bro. Like, I was really good. I was a good ball player. There's zero doubt about that.
Yeah.
Great athlete in all sports. I mean, I always did really well,
Yeah.
but I also wasn't confused about the statistics,
True.
you know?
Yeah. Because
Like,
you're
if
competing against the
1% of
top,
players,
right?
yeah, 1% of high school players play college sports, and a very small percentage play D1.
Yeah.
I played Division I college football, got it paid for, got a construction management degree out of it for free, and, you know, had some great life experience. I'm not upset about that.
No, sure. And I mean, you haven't done like you're doing pretty well. So I mean, it's all good.
I'm doing better than the average NFL football player.
Yeah.
We looked that shit up the other day. The average NFL football player makes like $2 million a year. Make more than that.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeehaw.
And a lot of them are simps as well, like sliding into DMs, simping. It's super lame. So, you get injured, you realize that football, like NFL, is going to be your ticket, and then at what point do you go into business? How does that work?
Well, what happened is I graduated college in 2009.
Yes.
No jobs.
Oh, that was a shit time, man. Holy shit.
Bad timing, but good timing. The reason I think it was good timing is because if I would have graduated when times were good, it would have been harder for me to start my company. I knew I wanted to start a company. And what happened was there were no jobs. I had to go fight to get a job. And then when I finally got a job, all it did was give me enough time to save for my contractor's license. Then I got laid off. So I had no safety net.
Yeah.
Had I got a really good job, I might be sitting in Dallas somewhere, living in some big ass house, and I wouldn't be able to leave.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back. You got to flip it to the positive. I mean, would I have left and started my own business? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But again, you can't live in the past. All you can do is live in what you know. Here's the situation. I don't give a fuck whose fault it is, why, whether it's me, whether it's my circumstance. It doesn't matter because I'm still responsible for the results.
Yes.
You know, like today, I put an offer in. $3 million offer for 44 more units, which I've already been verbally awarded since I put the offer in.
Yeah.
If I don't go make that deal work, now you could say, oh, the interest rates are high and, you know, it might not work out. Dude, it's going to work out. I've done the math 400 fucking times. We drove the properties a day. Then I turned around and left there, went down the road to my hometown, Denham Springs, Louisiana. Shout out Denham Springs. Woo. And there's a piece of land that's zoned for 30 more mobile homes, 30 pads. Yeah. All three on that, full price. If we end up not liking it in due diligence, you know, it's in a flood zone. I know it is. So it's going to be a little expensive to get the trailer set up and the insurance and everything. when I'm talking to the banker, I'm like, look, if you don't want to have the risk of the mobile homes, and I'll start another LLC and do the mobile homes through another bank, or buy them cash or do whatever, you always got to find a way. It's never going to be the right time, and you're never going to pick the bottom. You're never going to have, all of God's gifts that you need to have to do something. You just got to find a fucking way. You got to scrap. Being tough is way better than being anything else. You could have all the gifts in the world and not be tough and quit. So I'd much rather be tough than intelligent, tough than talented, anything. Just be tough, be able to get up.
True. Yeah, that plus like being able to see things in the right perspective, right? Where you have a lot of people that stuff just happens to them all the time. Like my father is one of those people. Like everything just happens to him. And like he's constantly unlucky, and he's always like at the bad end of the deal. And that's what happens when you don't reframe it in real time.
It's funny you say that. I was just talking the other day. The way I hire people, I look for 5 things: proven competence, humble, hungry, smart, and luck. And I also pick my friends that way in a lot of ways. Are they competent?
Yeah.
Do they have the humility to at least have a conversation, or the ability at least to be wrong or talk through opinions with other people?
Yeah.
Hungry. Do they have drive? Are they smart? Are they emotionally intelligent in situations? They have situational awareness. And then luck. I don't want unlucky friends. I certainly don't want unlucky employees or business partners. So a lot of times you'll find in life that people that are unlucky, you don't want them around you, bro, because they could be your family and you don't want them around. You keep them at a distance because you don't want that bad luck rubbing off on you. You listen to bullshit enough and you'll start to believe it.
Yeah.
So for me, I only want lucky people around me, people that feel like God's shining on them, that they have favor, because those are the people all the good shit happens to. And I'm trying to be around magic. So
true. I mean, and to sort of go into that, from an outside perspective, you would assume that luck, well, just by definition of the word, it should be like a random distribution. But what I've seen, and we're of similar age, so I assume you've seen it as well, is that it's not random distribution at all. Like some people are just way more lucky than others. And it's almost like I don't know, maybe they influence it, maybe they attract it. I don't know. But it just is, right?
Yeah.
Is there something you can do to become more lucky?
I think you create luck.
How?
Preparation brings luck. For example, the buildings I bought today.
Yeah.
You could say I was lucky that I bought that I'm able to buy these buildings from this guy.
Yeah.
But I've been working on a buddy of mine that had some connections in the space.
Yeah.
For about, let's say, 7 or 8 months. He comes to me with 3 buildings. Yeah. We buy them on the spot because I've been practicing underwriting for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because we did the underwriting so quickly and we closed so fast, the owner was willing to meet us to talk to us about the other 44. Obviously. So that means we bought, just because I was prepared to buy the first 12.
Is something to get you?
Going down in the neighborhood. Because I was prepared to buy the first 12, I was able to buy the remaining 44.
Yeah. And
now we'll have 56 units. Is that lucky? Maybe. But it's the same thing. I'm doing that deal with Jordan, the War Room guy.
Yeah.
He just posted a tale of victory in the War Room. He sent me the deal. I've been underwriting deals for so long, just practicing on them. I couldn't even buy them yet. I was underwriting deals in like 2016 when I couldn't even afford to buy a deal.
Yeah.
But so when the deal comes in, I'm like, dude, this is a good return. I love this deal. He's like, do you want a partner? Yeah, I'll wire you the money right now. Sure. Close, talk to the owner the other day. I'm flying up there Thursday to meet with him, meet with the owner, close that. That'll be 76 units I bought this month.
Oh, that's nice.
76 doors. Then I'm going to shoot over to, and funny enough, you want to talk about luck? There's a War Room event 3 hours away. I'm going to go speak at it. Just because I'm going to be so close, I'm just going to turn up. I'm lucky to get the opportunity to spend time with other War Room guys. Yeah. And you know what? More than likely, I'll do some business with somebody at the event.
Yeah.
Is it luck? I don't know. If it's luck, I'm creating it.
Yeah.
So
It's just you showing up, right? In a lot of ways.
It's always that. It's always suiting up and showing up, man.
Yeah.
It's always about that. It's just about being ready. You know,
And in a way, maybe you would agree with this or not. We'll see. I do these interviews and I talk to people about networking, and it becomes like it's one of the biggest questions I get. Like, how do I build my network, get to know people, get in, in the right circles? And the main part of that equation is showing up, putting yourself out there, showing up, making a good impression, and not being autistic, not being a retard, obviously.
yeah.
But that's like the main thing. I mean, there's maybe that's 80%. I don't know, like something like that. Just being there.
Yeah, man. Just showing up, showing up, doing your homework. Really listening to people. People love to talk about themselves, and that's very human. It's very natural. I'm not, like, myself included. Everybody likes that. So just being able to show up, be present with a person, like really care about, what they do or how they do it, and oftentimes paying to be in the right room. I mean, before the war room, I was paying to do Vistage, to meet with other people I could do deals with. I joined the war room. I must have paid, I don't know what amount of money, but I went to multiple events, summits, etc.,
Sure.
to put myself in the room with other people that could afford to be in that room. And I don't think there's ever a point in life where I'll stop paying to be in the room with people, even if I only learn one thing. Like, I'm a part of Tony Robbins' group.
Oh,
his platinum group.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt me to meet Tony Robbins and Ray Dalio, bro.
No,
that's not going to be a negative event.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Like that platinum group, I think it cost me like 85 grand for a year. Yeah. That's a lot of fucking money. But bro,
yeah,
if I'm in there and I'm sitting in whatever country we're meeting in with a bunch of other millionaires, and they're like, well, I'll move my money here and I'll do this and that, and I'm going to buy this and this is it. You think I'm not going to make my fucking money back?
Yeah, obviously.
It's a no-brainer, bro. And am I lucky that I'm in that room and getting that information, or did I put myself in the right atmosphere?
Yeah, that's a good point. And like to go into that, you have a knack for connecting with people. You're pretty good at listening to people. You can always tell. I don't know if this is clear to you as well, but you can always tell when people are actually listening, or when they're just waiting for you to shut up so they can talk. And it's like, it's noticeable, it's palpable, right?
Yeah.
Was that always like, were you like a people person from a young age on?
Bro, I was, man. Like, I'll tell you, one of the best days of my life. Well, let me preface that. I was voted class favorite in junior high. I was captain of the football team. I was a prom king. I took 2 prom queens. My senior year, I took a girl, me and her were prom king, queen, and then I took a girl from the school down the street, and she won queen. So I took 2 queens my senior year. Flex. For all you high school punks out there, think y'all got y'all shit together.
Woo!
So, yeah, man. But one of the best days of my life was my 10-year reunion, because I had kids come up to me, like people come up to me and say, man, you were really popular. I wasn't as popular, and you were always very, very kind to me.
Yes.
And I love people, man. I talk to people. Like, it makes me happy. It's not even that I'm like this great person or anything like that. I genuinely enjoy talking to people and asking them about their day, whether it's somebody checking me out or the guy at the car wash or whatever.
Yeah.
I genuinely enjoy the shit. Like, I like talking to other people and listening to what they have to say, because there's so many different perspectives. There's so many different routes life can go, and there's so many different point of views. And even if my point of view doesn't end up being similar to the person I'm talking to, I feel like there's always something that I can use in life, or certainly business, to, better myself and my situation for the people that I love and the people that I care about. So, like, just today when we were driving around looking at those 11 buildings, it's 11 fourplexes. Basically, we're like buying the neighborhood, kind of like the street,
Monopoly.
Yeah, I'm playing Monopoly for sure.
Good.
And this one lady in her apartment, she has this. This is going to be on my YouTube. She has this fucking smoothie shop inside of her apartment. So we went in there. All of us were like playing Mexican music and shit. You know, talking to her about all the neighbors and all this other stuff. She has a Herbalife business. And so, yeah, man, we went in there. She's like $28 and $28 for 4 shakes. I paid her $50 because she gave us a lowdown, man. And so we got to go in her little smoothie shop / apartment. And I'm like, I looked at my partner. I was like, man, we might need to charge commercial rent for this shit.
Yes,
got a whole
exactly.
operation in there. No English, by the way. It's all Google Translate. She didn't even know we were buying it. We were sitting there talking in English and like, this lady doesn't even know we own this motherfucker. So, I mean, but the thing is, man, it's like, why not have that moment? Yes. Why not go in there and like cut up with her on Google Translate? She's like playing Mexican music in there. She's got like this little fold out table. We're all sitting around drinking these shitty shakes. It was a good time, bro. It was a story. You know, and we're all laughing. I'm like, she doesn't know that she pays us rent now. You know? it's like,
that's a good story.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's always cool to be able to spend time with other people and like get to really experience hear about their experience. So I think listening is never there's such a huge return on investment of listening. And I don't think that ever gets old. And so like when I talk to people or I interview people, I really enjoy listening and asking deeper questions and digging. And for my shows in particular that I do at my apartment in Miami, I feel like for that reason, I get 6-hour shows with Myron Gaines. Yeah. Or I get things out of, Sterling that maybe he's not shared before, or things out of, Tristan that maybe he's not shared before, whomever I'm talking to. Because if you're really listening, there's so much opportunity to go deeper. And I feel like if a person goes deeper with you, they feel more connected to you.
100%.
And if you can do that by truly listening to ask them the deeper question on what they told you, then you can take that conversation to a different place, which means that relationship is now going to a different place. And I think there's a way to do that very genuinely. Yeah. And that's always my goal.
Yeah, you're not doing it like in a manipulative way or to get
not at all. No, I don't think you can fake it.
True.
I think if you're truly interested in somebody and you're asking really good questions based off of what they just told you. Yeah. So instead of making a statement based off what they told you, you ask them a deeper question on what they just said. Yeah. Now you're at a place of like, oh my God, this person is not only listening, they care about what I'm telling them. They actually give a shit about the question they asked me. They meant, and that in itself is genuine. Yeah. So I think that's the way to be.
About a week ago, I was talking to someone and I picked something up that she told me and I asked a question. And then her eyes got big and she said, "You're really listening, aren't you?" Yeah. Said, yeah, obviously. You're talking. So
but it's not so obvious, is it? Most of the time people and that's what got her attention is that she's like, wait, you're actually listening to what I'm saying. I'll tell you another really good place to do that is on a date.
Yeah, this might have been on a date, but go on.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're dating a girl, if you're on a date with a girl and you ask her a question and you genuinely listen and you follow your question up with another question on what she just said, again, just like the networking thing, the conversation goes deeper. And when the conversation goes deeper, there's a deeper connection between you and said person. 100%. And when that connection goes deeper, your relationships goes deeper. And when your relationship goes deeper with a woman, obviously there's room for, it to go romantic, or with an individual, it could turn into a business relationship or a friendship that lasts for a long time. So, and all of those are wins, man. All those are wins.
I think there's like a massive overlay between like sales, seduction, social skills in general. They're
all sort of the same, bro.
Right? It's all the same. And like it's not. You said something when we were in Dubai. You said something interesting, and I heard it. I heard you say it a couple times after as well, where you say, if I'm you gave the example of being in a gym, and you say if I'm like within, I don't know, 10 feet of someone, I always go up, talk to them, and you have a line for it, whatever.
Yeah, I say it bothers me to be this close to somebody and not speak.
Yes,
Sorry, I'm Southern.
you're
That's just
Southern. That's it.
yeah, and it's very true, man. It's like, why am I going to stand 10 feet away from you and act like you're not fucking there?
Yeah, it's weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was sitting. Yesterday, I'm sitting on the plane, and I only fly first class now.
Yeah.
And most of the reason of that is statistically, the person sitting next to you, you want to know.
Yes.
So yesterday, I sit next to this gentleman on a plane. I'm going from Dallas to Baton Rouge. I went Miami, Dallas, Baton Rouge. And this guy is sitting there, and I start talking to him. And he was in the oil field for 34 years. Now he sits on a board for not only the community colleges around here, but he sits on a big-ass oil board. This dude's a big boss, bro.
Yeah.
And
guy.
I can tell, like, he was a black guy, and I could tell, like, when I first sat down, he didn't expect me to talk to him. We ended up talking the whole flight, and now I'm hooked up with him, and I wrote the standards to the apprenticeship program for metal buildings in Louisiana.
Yeah.
He knows all the college coordinators that could put those people in my program, so I could teach them how to do metal buildings. And in my world, owning the manpower, having the Army is what you really want. And so for me to be able to put people through my program and teach them how to do metal buildings instead of them going to plumbing or going to, work at another place is very, very powerful. That guy's got the plugs, man.
Awesome.
So there's never a moment where you don't not only want to look for opportunity to meet people that can help you, but then help them back, because it's a win-win scenario.
It was very lucky
about negotiating. I feel that way about negotiating. Like, so in most negotiations, a lot of times people, when they talk about negotiation, they talk about it in a way like somebody's got to lose.
Yes.
That's not the case. It's very rarely do I hardball somebody and get what I want. Most of the time, it's being creative. I'll give you an example. That offer, that $3 million offer, I offered $3 million with conventional financing for those 44 units today.
Yeah.
But ideally, I want him to hold the financing.
Yeah.
So the second offer is 3.1 million, pay him $100,000 extra if he'll hold the finance and interest only for 2 years to let the interest rate go down.
Yeah, I see.
Now I'm giving him $100,000 extra money.
Yeah.
But my cost of money on that 3 million over those 2 or 3 years is going to be substantially more than $100,000. And he is selling me the property so he can go buy a beach house in 30A, Florida.
Sure.
I'd gladly buy the furniture with that $100,000. You see what I'm saying? But it's a win-win for me and him. And he can take it and boom, have more money. He can defer tax by holding the finance and let me pay him off over time. He might take it, he might not. I'm buying the place either way. But I'm always trying to find a win-win situation in negotiations as well. And that's something that I think is important, because as a young guy, I always thought that somebody had to flat out win or somebody had to flat out lose. And that's just not the case in business. It's not the case in relationships. And I don't want a lopsided victory in any relationship in my life, because even if you win a lopsided victory in a negotiation, if you have to continue doing business with that person, it is going to come up. It's going to be a rock in their shoe, and they're eventually either going to fuck you to get even or they're going to leave the deal.
Yeah.
So
you destroy the relationship by winning, right?
If you don't want to win too much, you want both sides to win. So it's really about finding out what works. And that's the only reason I know the guy's going to 30A, because I want to know. I'm like, why are you selling?
Yeah.
It's a great list of properties. It's cash flowing. Why are you selling? Well, I've had my career. I'm not going to be in Baton Rouge anymore. I want to go buy a place in 30A. So I was like, okay.
Makes sense.
We'll buy at your price, but if you'd like a little bit of extra money to go towards that house and defer some of your taxes, maybe you can own or finance for a couple of years. Let us get the interest rates down. Let us raise the rents, get the net operating income, maybe get a little bit more money off the shake lady. that's running a full business.
Yeah, that's a solid point.
So
Yeah.
So yeah,
no,
man,
you're
I
right.
just think that honest hat in hand relationships where you genuinely hear what the other person says helps you build relationships.
True.
It helps you take your romantic relationships deeper. Everything's for the better when you're truly present in the moment, listening to the other person, because it
Yeah.
opens the possibilities.
And I was about to say, like the guy that you met in first class that was really influential.
Yeah.
That's kind of lucky, though, right?
Is it? Is it?
No,
I don't know, bro, because you know what?
it's not.
The flight before that, I met a hedge fund guy that invited me to come hang out with him in Miami.
Oh wow.
And he's got a hedge fund. And you know what he's got? He's got a CPA that I really want to talk to.
You're super
Is it
lucky,
lucky?
man.
Is it lucky, or do I say, hey man, I really like your jacket? Which is
Yeah.
what I told a guy yesterday sitting next to me. And I did like his fucking jacket. I wasn't lying.
Yeah, true.
I just brought it up.
Yeah.
You know, you're dead on when you talk about like most human interaction is kind of the same. Sales, seduction, friendship, all these different things.
Yeah.
You think I don't like when motherfuckers tell me they like my jacket? You know what I'm saying? And why would I be too cool to say that?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that just speaking, showing up, you know, dressing right when the time is right, looking the part, being kind, genuinely caring, genuinely listening, you know, I don't think
agree.
you can ever go wrong with that.
And what I remember as well, like besides the line that you had and the fact that you approach, you said something really important, which was I do this to girls and dudes. Doesn't really matter.
No.
And right, that's I got the question recently, like Arno, are you intimidated talking to women? And the answer was basically like when I'm out and when I'm talking to people, I don't really care what's between their legs. I'm just having fun. I'm just enjoying myself.
Yeah, it's
And I
important.
get the same vibe from you as well, right?
Yeah, man. So I think a lot of guys call it being self-amused.
Self-amused.
So they call it being self-amused, like when you're talking to a girl,
Yeah.
like, hey girl, what's up? Like laughing, kind of like giving her the vibe that you don't care whether she likes you or not.
Yeah.
I think that's cool in a bar, really in a playful atmosphere. But I think in life, man, just day to day, if you were just honest and write down, my goal was to be graceful.
Yes.
So let's say I would have spoke to that guy on the plane yesterday and I said, man, I really like your jacket. And it'd been like, thanks. And he kind of turned his head. Okay, cool. Because I really did like his jacket.
Yeah.
If I see a woman, I don't have a pickup line. I go up to her and say, excuse me, ma'am. I just want to tell you that I think you look absolutely beautiful. I think you're a beautiful girl. It would have bothered me if I wouldn't have came and speak to you. That's actually true.
True.
So if she would have been like, oh yeah, okay, thanks. I'm cool with that because I have the answer to myself. And myself says, hey, if you're too much of a coward to walk up to a fucking girl, you need to go do a reality, you need to go check yourself, bro. So I think that if you can just be honest, hat in hand, and humble about it, I don't think there's any risk. I think it's when you try to do something tricky and you fail, when you feel like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You know, so especially when it comes to women, I don't have any pickup lines. Anything that I'm gonna say, I don't nag. I don't have any, any like traditional, hey, I think you look beautiful. It would have bothered me if I wouldn't have spoke to you. It's just that simple.
It's really good.
Yeah, man.
It's about you, right? It's about your relationship with
you.
you.
It is. Yeah. It is. Like it makes me have like a worst case scenario. I hopefully made that person's day.
True.
And what's wrong with that? And what that does for you as an individual is it puts down the fear of the rejection because you're going into that interaction with said human without looking for anything in return.
Yeah.
And so you can enter that interaction and exit, good or bad, gracefully, which makes it good. You're winning either way.
Because you've already won just by opening the interaction.
That's right. Because you came in with pure intentions.
Yes.
A lot of guys go up to girls with some kind of slick move, like they're hiding something. It's like they're holding behind their back. It's like, I'm trying to fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like they got their like dick in their hand behind their back, and like, oh, I'm gonna tell you some line. And bro, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Girl's not gonna sleep with you on the spot anyway. Just tell her she's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And they're gonna feel it as
when
well.
it comes to texting, same thing.
Yeah.
You're beautiful, Miami. Like, what else are you gonna say?
Yeah.
You know?
Obviously. Yeah. And I mean, it's the same. It's the same with when it comes to dating or seduction or sales. It's the same thing, man. You can always tell when someone has an agenda, and it's really,
It's a turn off.
Yeah, it's sleazy. It doesn't feel right, man.
That's
it's
right.
bad. Yeah.
You know why? Because it's disingenuous.
Do you think women are better at picking that up compared to men?
I think it's probably about what and what. It's just women are always on guard of men just trying to sleep with them. I think that high-powered men that know that everybody wants something from them, they can normally pick it up as well.
Yeah.
I think going about it the right way and being honest about it is the best way, especially if you're like trying to pick up a mentor or something, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
You must get that a lot, though, because I get it a lot. So you must get it a way more, that people approach you basically saying, hey, can I work for you? Can I do something for you? Whatever. And it
Yeah,
I can't
dude.
say it breaks my heart or something, because, it doesn't really break my heart. But I'd love to help them out. But a lot of times the request is shitty in itself.
Yeah, man, it's actually something that's kind of new. How long have you been doing YouTube?
Well, I think I started a little after you started, because when I started out, you were at like, I don't know, 15, 20K or something. You've been doing very well. You're approaching 100K now, right?
Yeah, I've been super lucky, very blessed.
Very lucky.
The reason I think my channel's grown so much is my real world networking ability.
Yes.
A lot of it
popping up everywhere, man.
Yeah, a lot of it clearly is a result of being friends with, say, Andrew or Tristan.
Yeah.
Listen, and I was actually riding in the Bugatti the other day. Me and Andrew were talking about that.
Awesome.
And a lot of it's because of him. Rollo Tomasi has had a big role in my growth.
Yeah.
And all of these people. But what it comes down to is like, I meet Rollo. Rollo hooks me up with somebody. I meet that person. I treat them the same way as I treated Rollo. Then boom, you do something with Brad Lee. Michael Sartain helped hook me up with Brad Lee.
Yeah.
And so as long as you're good to people,
yeah,
I feel like you always have a really good opportunity to grow your network. And there's no more powerful way to network than word of mouth. Getting somebody that's already friends with said person to vouch for you in a group text, or you know what, I did Jedediah the other day, and I told Jedediah, I said, I'd really like to do Patrick Bet David. She goes, I'll put a word for you. Boom, dapped up in the parking lot. And so we're going to try to get that done. I did CEO of Testosterone, Jack. He just joined the War Room. In fact, he pretty much bought the War Room on the podcast. I was sitting right here.
Oh, cool.
And he's going to get me with his buddy over there in Thailand, Hamza.
Yeah.
Hamza's got 1 million subs, bro.
Yeah. Cool guy. Yeah. And
on top of that, he looks like he's a cool fucking dude. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat him like, hey man, let's find a way to work together. Yeah. You know?
Why not?
I've talked to Mike Thurston. Next time I go to Dubai, I'm gonna try to get with Mike. You know, and he did something with Andrew, and he's a cool fucking dude, and he's a beast, and I respect him. And like, why not?
Yeah.
So for me, man, I think it's really simple. If you can appreciate other people and that comes off genuine, and you really care about their situation, you really care about the person they are, you're showing true respect and admiration for them, then it's kind of hard not to be able to, create a relationship with them.
And like for you, because you were a business guy, well, you still are a business guy for a long time. At what point, or why did you start the YouTube channel? What made you do that?
I always wanted a YouTube channel, but I wouldn't let myself start until I had a liquid meal in the bank. And I had done that much previous to the War Room, but the problem is that I actually had a lot of like feelings of suppression being from where I'm from. I was worried about, everybody's gonna think I'm being an arrogant asshole if I start a YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera. The War Room helped with that a lot. And then the timing was just right. I moved in with Sterling. Sterling was doing it. I met Rolo. I met Fresh and Fit. Obviously I'd met Andrew and Tristan at that point.
The opportunity was there.
Do what?
The opportunity was just there.
Yeah, the opportunity was there. And one thing that I do think is really important sometimes is that if you have something on your to-do list, on your bucket list of things to do, it sometimes makes sense to wait for the right opportunity and then hit the ground running when that opportunity is right.
Yes.
But one thing that Tristan actually said to me once that really stands out to me and has really become true now is that in the beginning of your career, you get paid for what you do. You do things with your back.
Correct. And
you push and you have that young energy. You have that 20-something-year-old unicorn blood. You know what I'm saying? Where you'll run through a wall. Yeah, fire blood. Then you start to learn things and realize things, and you start to get paid for what you know. And that's when you start managing people and your business starts growing. You start doing things like that. And then the third thing that you transition to, something that Tristan very much has a grip on, Andrew obviously very much has a grip on, you start to get paid for who you are.
Yes.
And that's just the natural progression. And Tristan, me and Tristan, we had surgeries at the same time in Dubai. We'd take these long walks through the desert together. Like we'd walk like 7-8 miles through the desert, like through Dubai.
Yeah.
And we talked about it one day and that came up. And I think that's one of the most impactful things that Tristan has ever shared with me. And it made perfect sense to go to that third step. And, obviously me and T are really, really close, but I never missed the opportunity to give him credit for that conversation because I feel like it was a very impactful moment for me to really know I was doing the right thing because I'd already started, but it really kind of made everything snap in. And as a result, man, like I'm getting real estate deals from it. I think that most of the benefit of me doing YouTube will actually come from the real world. I don't sell a product. I sell War Room, and Hustlers University, and I love doing that because I love the War Room, and I love what Hustlers University is doing. I feel like had I had more consciousness or known more about how to make money other than construction when I was that age, I probably would have done that. But I think a lot of where I'm going to make most of my money is going to be in the real world because of the YouTube channel. I'm going to partner with people like the trailer park deal in Ohio with the War Room guy. Yeah. Without me having a platform and him knowing who I was, he would have never called me to look at the deal.
I agree.
So I think it pays off in so many ways. And I think that Jordan and I are going to make a lot of money together. And I feel very grateful to be a part of that. And I feel like the more people that you can help become rich around you, the richer you will be.
Yeah. I think that's I remember, I'm so old that I used to have like cassette tapes. I had a Zig Ziglar cassette tape. And
how old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
Like I'm 312 or so. I'm 37.
Oh, no shit, bro. You look way younger than that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not even being nice to you. I actually do. I thought you were way younger.
No, like I used to get me
You're
in trouble
older than me.
when I had to get liquor though. That was hard. But so I had this Zig Ziglar cassette tape, and he said, "You can have everything you want if you help enough people get what they want." That's basically what you're saying, correct?
It's so true, man.
Yeah,
it's so true. You know what? I have this vision. I have quite a few employees that make over 6 figures. I do. I have some people, they make some real good money. Awesome. But I have this vision. It'll probably be Tom and Pablo, but to go to a Christmas party at their house, pull up, be with my wife, and pull up to the front gates of their shit and be like, look at this fucking house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And know that I had such a huge part of that. Yeah. It's actually one of my like store. You know how like people make like vision boards and shit. I don't have one, but I have like this mental
Yeah.
mental set of visions. And
Yeah.
one of them is pulling up to somebody that works for me or with me very closely to their house and knowing because of me and our relationship together, they're fucking big balling. You know what I mean? They're a big boss. And I get to go to their big ass house and stay in their big ass house and sit by their big ass pool. Because I feel like the more I create that with partners, employees, other people doing deals, man, the more fulfilled my life will be.
Yeah.
You know, and the happier I'll be. And that's one thing that I have as a goal that I keep on my head quite a bit is I just want to pull up to somebody's house I work with and be like, damn, baller. You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
You really like people, don't you?
What's that?
You really like people, don't you?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Bro, most people are good people.
Yeah.
I think that people that seem like they're bad people or do bad things are really just desperate and hurting. You know? And I just try to get away from those, but you can't help everybody.
True.
You know, but you can be kind to them.
True.
You know, you can make their day better a little bit because I mean, I'm telling you, man, and it's not because I'm such a good person. I'm not a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
I get pissed. I fire people. I tell people to fuck off. I tell people, pay me or I'm leaving your goddamn job. Yeah. Like I do that shit. I get hard, but like, if I don't have to, you know, and I think that's a way to check to see if you're secure or not. I just had this conversation, I think maybe yesterday or the day before, I think it was with Jedediah. I see a true sign of somebody that's really confident in themselves is if they can get vulnerable with you because they're strong enough to know that if you try to take advantage of that vulnerability or that honesty, then you'll just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know? And so I don't have a problem, you know, paying people good or bonus them or tell them, hey man, look, you're fucking up. I really care about you. I want you here. I believe in you. I brought you to my business, to this business to work with me because I believe in you. Make sure I'm right.
I'm on your side, right. You know?
Yeah.
But get on your side as well, please. Yeah.
Right. And if you take advantage of it, I'm going to let you go.
Well, that's it. Yeah, true. Like that is, it's interesting. One of the questions that I often get, like you spent quite some time with Tristan, Andrew, and one of the questions that I often get is like, so have you met them and how are they in real life? Because people have this idea that they go through life yelling at people and beating people up. And I mean, that in my experience, that couldn't be further from the truth. But maybe like you're going to correct me now and you're going to say, yeah, well, in private, they just beat people up and yell at everyone.
Yeah, bro. Andrew and Tristan are not only some of the kindest, most polite, gentle with staff, waiters, etc. people I know, but they're also the most secure and consistent men I know.
Yes.
Never, ever have I felt like they acted in any way out of line with who I think they are. They've never surprised me in a situation. I've never felt like, oh, that wasn't like him ever. I've never not once. And I've spent of the guys in the war room, I've probably, outside of Jewel, I've probably spent the most time with those two. True. And I'm telling you, I've never caught them out of character, not once.
Yeah.
And I would fucking catch it, bro. People lie to me for a living, you know, try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I deal with it. I got 156 guys working this week.
Bro, you're in construction. That's like the worst.
Lie to me from time to time.
Yeah.
Oh, boss, it was this. Dude, I'm telling you, not only are they some of the kindest, most wonderful men you'll ever meet, they're fucking consistently this way.
Yeah.
I've never caught them out of character or felt like something was off or something they said didn't line up with something they did. They're absolutely pure in what they say they are in every way. And I often say this. In fact, there was a video that just came out the other day of me saying that I believe the best side of Andrew and Tristan the world never gets to see. And that's because they don't deserve to be around those two because they're absolutely incredible. And I'll tell you another thing on top of that. Luke is one of the best fucking men you'll ever meet in your life.
True.
I'm the biggest fucking Luke plant on the face of the fucking earth. You know, Luke is absolutely one of the most solid human beings that you'll ever fucking meet. And you can't get his ass on a camera.
Like
hard working, it's not the word for Luke. He's an absolute leader in every way. I don't think the War Room would be what it is without Luke.
Guy's a machine, man.
Yeah, he is.
Super smart.
He's absolutely fucking incredible, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, same here. I when people ask like how are they, I met them first, Tristan, Andrew, and Luke in London.
Yeah.
Like couldn't discern any like bullshit at all, and then I met them again in Dubai and in Romania as well.
Yeah, there is no bullshit.
No, but I haven't picked it up. I was in real estate for 15 years. You were in construction for a long fucking time. I think between the two of us, we would have been able to pick it up.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've seen a lot of professional bullshitters, so you know.
Bro, every day. I deal with somebody that's full of shit every day, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like
I can smell it
every fucking day. Yeah, man. They are, you know, and I've also met most everybody in the space.
Yeah.
And there's not more complete men out there. I love them in every way.
That's awesome. And it's like for if I because I don't know that story, you meet, if I remember correctly, you meet Sterling, and pretty soon after that you sort of you move in together. Is that correct? Is it?
Yeah. I didn't know him very long.
So how did that come to pass? Like, how did you get to know each other? When did you hit it off? Like, how did that work?
I didn't know who Sterling Cooper was. I'm standing. We're in the car. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right. Now that you say that, I didn't know who the fuck Sterling Cooper was. Yeah. So I'm standing in the Cosmopolitan. It's me and Tristan, and Sterling Cooper walks up, and he's like, "Hey, the guy, some Australian fucker walks up, and he says, "Hey, this is Sterling Cooper. Mate. Hey, man, how are you?" You know, and me and Tristan go inside or whatever. I find out who he is. We end up talking. We take a picture. You know, smoke a cigar, have a drink, whatever. And then he had to come down from LA. He stopped and met some War Room guys in Texas, and I was on his route. Yeah. So he came here to the house. We had cigars, played chess right here in this room. I taught him how to move chess pieces for the first time. By the way, I'm no chess pro, but I had just learned myself. So I'm like, all right, well, the rook moves like this, and this moves like this. And, you know, we're sitting here playing on like a plastic set. In fact, I'll show you. It's this set right here.
Ooh.
Fucking, yeah, just whatever. Yeah. And so we have cigars.
Good.
What's that?
The board looks good. The pieces look like shit, but the board looks pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you, the pieces to the actual board are inside the set.
Oh, I got the same. Yeah, I got the same setup. Yeah.
Yeah. So Simon actually has this set too, because Simon's been over here. Kilo's been over here. Oh, cool. Roy, I let Roy live here for 3 months for free. I've had a lot of War Room guys in this house. They come through. Jay Stang has been here. Oh. Because he's right there in Texas.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he came and, you know, we hung out that night, and he went down to Miami where there's a Bitcoin event. And I wanted to go down there and meet my buddy, John Ox, which is also in the War Room. Shout out John Ox. Ooh. And I go over to Sterling's apartment because he needed some help doing a set. So I help him build his set, and he had this extra room. I'm like, bro, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, mate. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I showed up a week later with a suitcase, and it was a wrap. That was about 1.5 years ago. So
okay. Interesting. So I mean, the interview that I did with Sterling was awesome. Like we had a great time.
Bro, Sterling Cooper's a fucking man, bro.
Yeah, we had such a good time. Cool. We enjoyed ourselves very much.
We're gonna have to take a quick break. Thomas has to switch the battery out because he broke it in the airport.
Sure, no worries.
This is an asshole. Give me 1 second.
No worries. I mean, if I was Justin, I would like start singing now because he can actually sing. But I'm shit at singing, so I won't do that. Are we back already? Holy shit.
You're good. Boom, we're good.
Thomas is good, man. He's
like a NASCAR pit crew, bro.
Yeah.
Bam.
It's almost scary. Holy shit.
Yeah, bro. He's like a little Luke. He's so fucking lucky he has Luke.
Yeah, lucky. True.
It's like the best young mentor on the planet.
That is true. Luke like I mean in a maybe he has more gray hairs than I have. He's like way younger.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, it's because of in work years he's way older probably.
yeah. He's good, man. He's good.
So you've been doing very well in like the YouTube space, the influence space. Usually that comes with quite a decent amount of hate as well.
Yeah,
How do you handle that? How do you deal with that?
bro. I know who I am. Um, I don't have to lie on the internet. I think I waited a long time to ever say anything on the internet.
Yeah.
And so for me, if I'm coming in and I'm already who I say I am, why would I have any insecurity or frustration or concern with something that somebody that doesn't know me might say about me?
Yeah.
There's been a couple hit videos on me. I've had some family come at me a bit, but I know what I've done in my life. I've not ever said anything on the internet that's not true.
Yeah.
And my main goal is to just be hat in hand honest and as genuine as I can be. If something happens with one of these deals I'm talking about and it falls through, you bet your fucking ass I'll say it on the internet. Hey, this happened. I thought I had the deal. I didn't, it didn't work or whatever. So I think when you're secure in what you've done and you know that you've not fucked anybody and you know what you've built, you know what you've done on your own, you know where you got help and you just say the truth, then there's really nothing to really be concerned about.
True.
There's always going to be some troll on the internet that wants to believe that you didn't build it yourself, or there's been a bunch of people that think I came from money just because they will look at me and I look like I came from money. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But dude, I know who I am. Yesterday or 2 days ago when I did Jedediah, she's like, yeah, you came in here dressed in I was like, Jedediah, I'm wearing Walmart jeans. Jeans cost $15. Now the boots cost $600, but I like the jeans from Walmart. I'm wearing them right now.
Yeah.
I got a pearl snap shirt on with my construction company logo on it. Like it's like, it's just, I got custom suits.
Yeah.
I bought a suit off the rack at Nordstrom's rack the other day. I'm going to tailor it. It's going to look like a custom suit, but I don't have a problem saying I don't give a fuck.
True.
I think that being yourself is a really important part of allowing people to love you. Just letting them know, like, it's nothing. I still go to Walmart.
Yeah.
I fly on private jets with Andrew. But yesterday, I literally flew on the back seat of my flight from Miami to Dallas.
Yeah.
It got all fucked up because of the storm. They delayed the flight and then they didn't. And the lady switched my flight all around to get me on it. I only flew first class on one of those two flights. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I know where I'm from. I'm not too good to do certain things. I still eat rotisserie chicken, $5 because I like it.
It's good.
If I see a t-shirt at fucking Target and I want to buy it, I'm buying it. It ain't got to be Gucci, or it doesn't have to be some crazy name brand. It's just be who you are. And I find that that's enough for people, especially if you work hard and you're honest and you do your best to build yourself up and you're respectful. I don't think people give a shit. Really don't.
I agree with that. And like when you've been in business for as long as you have, there's always, I mean, maybe, probably for you as well. There's always some sort of like betrayal or theft or people just being evil or stealing from you, stabbing you in the back. And usually when that happens at a younger age, like when you're starting out, you must have had those experiences as well. Like, did you handle that the same way? I assume you got pissed off. I sure as fuck did.
I get pissed off every day about something.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, it's a whole lot easier to be graceful and be kind when you're winning.
True.
You know?
Holy shit, that's so true, man.
It's so much easier. But yeah, I get mad all the time. When I was younger, I had some things happen. Like I had a guy, I think I was like 28. I did a building for him. He wrote me a check. He was late on payment. He wrote me a check for $50,000 for the building I bought, and I'd already put the building up. Yeah. I paid the vendors for the equipment, the forklifts and the man lifts. I paid my labor, obviously, because I had guys on payroll.
Yeah, sure.
And so I had $22,000 out already. or probably less than that, probably 15,000.
Yeah.
He owed me 50 grand for the building, you know, and I took that check. I paid my vendor because I was late. My check cleared, his check bounced, and I was upside down 100 some grand.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, and so like in those moments, yeah, I was angry.
Yeah.
But the anger is not really going to get it handled, right? So I had to calm the fuck down, go lean the project, go lean them in every parish in Louisiana, go lean them in every county in Florida, because it turned out when I looked him up, he had done this before.
Oh, fuck.
And it took me a little over a year, but he tried to sell a house, and I had a default judgment against him.
Yeah.
Ended up making an extra 20 grand off of it because I got all the, like all the penalties.
Yeah,
and
I see what you mean. Yeah, sure.
Et cetera, et cetera. And ended up going to a closing attorney's office to pick it up because he had to sell the house. And so sometimes it just takes a little patience, a little diligence. And it made me better because then I had to go get better at making better terms in my contract so I could get paid faster from the other people I was working for so I could cover the loss.
Yeah.
I had to go raise my lines of credit. I had to get better terms on certain things. I had to be a better project manager. We had to do things tighter for a while, and it made us a better company.
Yeah.
So again, it was just like we're talking about earlier. It's like you things are going to happen. It's just, can you flip them to work for you, or do you want to live in the agony of something happening to you?
Yeah,
Those are two completely different things.
I was about to sort of point that out to the people listening in. This is something you consistently do, where whatever happens, you sort of turn it into an advantage, even if it's a bad thing, right? You look at
bro, you have to. If you don't, you'll lose. You'll lose your mind.
Yeah.
You'll start to believe that bad things happen to you. And if you believe that bad shit happens to you, you'll be surprised at how much bad shit you can find that happens to you.
It's unlimited, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Like, so you got surgery, you gained some weight for a while. Whenever I see you, you're in great shape. What's your workout routine? Do you work out every day? Is there something special you do with food? Like, are you on all the steroids in the world? How do you do it, man?
Yeah. So I fast every day. I wake up, coffee, gym is the first thing I do.
Yes.
I'm a big believer in shitty workouts. I'd never schedule a day off. So what I'll do is coffee, gym, and then my day starts.
Yeah.
Start off every day like that. I typically don't eat until past 4. Some nights I don't eat till like 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I pretty much eat once a day or eat inside this 4-hour window. My body's used to it. I find that I'm more productive that way. If I eat lunch, man, it makes me sluggish.
Yeah.
My productivity just goes like plummets.
Yeah.
I feel it gives me a clear mind to fast. I really enjoy fasting. And then I lift heavy shit, compound movements, squats, deadlifts, power clean. Not as much power clean. Power clean's kind of bullshit. I don't power clean. I do snatch jerk though for my shoulders.
Yeah.
Because I don't have exterior rotation in my right arm, so I can't press. So I have to kind of come up. And so I try to lift heavy. I generally like pyramid, warm up, work in sets, and then rep to fail on the way down on a muscle group. My split is generally Monday is back and triceps, which is opposite of the normal back and biceps.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, I'll do legs and shoulders, and I always do legs first.
Yeah.
Legs so I always do abs and legs first. Abs every day.
Yeah.
I have a theory called the llama bean theory. I don't know if I've ever shared this before. Maybe I have, but llama bean theory is basically, you ever been like you're a little kid, right? And your mom makes llama beans, but she also made like chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese. Let's say.
Good stuff.
Yeah, the good shit. And you don't want to eat the fucking llama beans, but a lot of people, they eat the chicken nuggets and they eat the macaroni and cheese, and they don't want to eat the fucking llama beans.
Yeah.
Well, the way I see it is, if you just smash the llama beans out, you can enjoy the rest of the meal. And so when you're at the gym and you want to do abs, well, just fucking do abs when you have the most willpower and you're most ready to work out, the coffee or the pre-workouts hitting you or whatever. Yeah. It's easy to stay in the gym when your shoulders are pumped.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
look jacked.
That's awesome.
You look jacked.
Yeah.
So you do that shit first when you have the most willpower. And then by the time you get to shoulders, you've already done legs.
Yeah.
And so you're just in the gym for, an extra 15, 20 minutes doing extra reps of shoulders because you've already done the shit that you don't want to do in the first place.
Yeah.
So for me, I really believe that like being able to talk to yourself and negotiate with yourself mentally is a really good way to have discipline. I lie to myself a lot. All right, I'm just going to start this email. Well, an hour later, or I'm just going to start writing this speech, or I'm just going to start this little spreadsheet that I said I was going to build.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, you're kind of into it. You start to get into it, and it starts to become fun because you have this momentum built up.
True.
So I'm really big on like playing tricks on myself to get the grown man voice to suppress the child voice. It's like, oh no, we're just going to do one set of abs and then we're going to quit and then you can do shoulders.
Yeah.
Well, the next thing you know, you got a 45 and you're doing decline, abs, and your abs are poking through your Under Armour shirt. You look like a beast. So you keep doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, as a small like side note, you told me about your theory on abs, which was interesting because usually what people say is like abs are built in the kitchen and you already have abs, but you actually you working pretty hard and you really pump them up, right?
Yeah, I treat abs like a muscle.
Yeah, because
they are a muscle.
Yeah.
You see guys all the time, skinny guys that are super lean and they don't have six pack. And the reason I do it, I want to get a pump in my abs because whether you're inside or outside, there's one common variable, and that's overhead light. And a six pack is nothing more. So if this is your fat, if this is fat and this is your abs, overhead light hits this, there's nothing to be seen. But if this muscle grows and pushes, then there's a shadow.
I see.
Underneath.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when that overhead light comes up, boom, abs. I mean, look, for fuck's sake.
Woo!
See, like it does it.
Yeah.
That's how it works. It's just, will it come down? And can you see the shadow? That muscle is just built. And so that's how you do it. You treat it like a fucking muscle. You treat everything else like a muscle.
Yeah.
When you do bicep curls, the bicep is poking through the skin. The sun hits it. You do the delts, right? These poke out. It creates a shadow here at your front delt and your back delt. It's simple. Why would I not grow this?
Yeah.
And so I have something I call pinpoint muscle groups. And so I do only bottom abs because that's the hardest ones to get. I do only the inside of the tricep.
Yeah, that's what you told me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I spend most of my time on upper chest because I want this part to catch light because that's what gives the illusion of the size. Yeah. So to me, it's the most efficient way to get what you actually want. So you're never going to have the bottom two abs and not have the top two.
True.
You hear people all the time, oh, I got the top two. Fucking so's my grandma, bitch. And you suck in with your ribs, bro. You know what I'm saying? You never see a guy turn up and he's like, man, I got these bottom abs and this V-taper, but I can't get the top two. Fuck off. So just go ahead and get that and everything, it'll just come up. Yeah. If you got the upper chest, the rest of your chest is going to look good. If you have the inside of the horseshoe, everybody can get this little part, the outside part of the tricep. Yeah. You know, so once you kind of understand the anatomy and how the illusion of developing certain muscles can make you look twice as big, it's really a no-brainer how to exercise. I do very, very important, very particular things like with my thumbs and my grips to make sure I'm triggering what I call those pinpoint muscle groups. Yeah. So that way I'm getting the most efficient physique out of the work that I'm putting in.
So I assume with abs, you're also using like heavy weights. You're not doing just calisthenics.
No, I am. I absolutely am. I'll trigger them first.
Yeah.
But I'll do the only time I ever touch a kettlebell, I'll go on the Bosu ball and do kettlebell. Mm-hmm. Leaning back, I put my feet against the wall, put the kettlebell behind, and only because that being on that ball, it super gets you away. Decline, with a 45 on my chest and put my chin up and making sure all the pressure goes on those bottom two abs.
Yeah.
I'll do the ropes. And like really pull, and I'm only squeezing the bottom two. I don't give a fuck about any of this up here.
Yeah.
At all. Because the bigger those bottom two abs are, the more body fat I can have and still have a six pack. Because it's poking through the skin.
True.
Six pack is an illusion, bro.
Yeah.
It's just light. It's muscle poking through the skin, light hitting the muscle, creating a shadow. That's all it is.
Very interesting, man. And like what I'm hearing, if I summarize this correctly, you're very particular and focused about what you do in the gym. It's not like, because a lot of times when I go to the gym, I see people just going like a zombie, going through the motions and just on the machine, and then they don't even know what they're doing. But it sounds like you're really, really, you looked into what to do, and you're really particular about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I used to be way more in the gym than I am now.
Yeah.
Now I kind of feel like I live off residuals in a way, but
passive income.
Yeah, it's passive income. But the truth of the matter is that I know that the full amount of my effort and my force goes into things that I'm going to get the best return on from an aesthetic standpoint. But at the same time, it's hard not to build a bunch of muscle when you're doing compound movements.
True.
You're doing them heavy. And so that system that I've built for myself is not only in, but it's into the point where I don't even really think about it anymore. Yeah. Really. And if I have a bad workout or a shitty workout, or I don't feel motivated, I go anyway. And even if I go through the motions, I feel like the shitty workouts are the mortar that get you to the next brick that allows you to build the house. Yeah. So whether I feel like going or not, I go. Sometimes I have shitty workouts and I walk out, but that's what keeps the string together. And that's that neural pathway that says I'm going every day, no matter what. So
that's beautiful, man. Yeah. I did some stuff about this in HU as well, where you I mean, it's just the consistency of doing it every single day and not breaking the chain. Just keep, and it doesn't really, like, never ever have I regretted going to the gym. Never.
No.
Never.
And you're not going to get jacked in one day either.
No, it's not going to happen.
So you may as well have some shitty workouts and keep the chain going.
True. Yeah. Like, for how long have you been training?
Oh, like 15.
Yeah.
I used to wear shirts to pool parties, bro. Started doing push-ups.
And like in terms of because you're a pretty tall guy, did you have any trouble filling up the frame, or were you already were you built from a young age?
No, dude, this work. The taller you are, the harder it is to look big.
Yeah. That's the advantage of being a midget, probably.
Look, if you're a shorter guy, you can look bigger faster. I do think that's the one advantage of being a shorter guy.
True.
I think you can also, guys that are shorter can generally load more weight. This is a shorter movement. It's squatting too. But the upside for a tall guy, that if you put the work in over time, I weigh 225. I'm 6'3", 225 pounds. That's a big man, and the weight's in the right places. I still hold on the handles when I let it get away from me, when I hang around Tristan's ass too much, drinking tequila.
Yes. Bro.
But we stay training. We stay, working at it. Me and Tristan worked out together 2 or 3 times in Dubai. Yeah. For like an hour and a half. And the night before, we got fucking shit house on tequila, So, it's about being consistent. It's about understanding your body. I'm really big on pinpoint muscle groups. Again, I made that up. I say it like it's this thing. It's really just some shit I made up. But
you coined it now. It's yours.
For me, it works. Upper chest, lower abs, inside of the tricep, squat your ass off, deadlifts, and that's what's been able to help me. There's fitness guys out there that know way more than me about it. But
Yeah,
I think
sure.
I think the Pareto's law, the 80-20, I'm basically getting that right. I think lifting heavy is important. It makes you strong, and everything develops as it should. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're living a healthy life. Um, you
Do
can
you do
really.
do you do any
What's that?
cardio at all?
Boxing.
Okay, but not in the
Yeah,
gym. You don't
not a
walk on a
lot.
treadmill,
No, not
right?
a lot. There's been times in my life where I've run sprints every day. I
Hmm.
put cardio in. I could probably stand to do some cardio now and quit smoking these fucking things, but you
Yeah, they
know,
train your lungs, man. It's good for you.
yeah, it's good.
Trust me.
Raises your testosterone, T says.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's gonna be fine either way, but I believe they train your lungs. Like I got to the point, like if all the people are telling me it's bad for you, it's probably good for you. So I got to that point. Like it's probably, it's probably good for me.
Well, maybe good for the soul.
Yeah, it's good for the soul. Like
Good
training
for
my
the soul,
soul.
maybe. You're training your soul.
So I mean, you and I, we're close to, we're close in age.
Yep.
When we grew up, the internet wasn't a thing. Like you actually, when we needed to find something, we need to get like an encyclopedia or go to the library or something, right?
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore. But with that comes this whole dopamine addiction, scrolling addiction thing. How do you handle that? Like, how do you sort of protect yourself against, you know, scrolling Instagram mindlessly or,
Yeah.
Twitter, whatever?
Well, I think one way to do it is to pack your schedule. Like today, for example, I woke up this morning, I lifted, went to my office, then I had a 12:30 meeting, I had a conference call this morning also.
Yeah.
Then we went and drove to look at those 44 other units and the ones that we just bought.
Yeah.
From there, we went to go see the piece of land where we're going to develop the mobile home park. And then I came here because I've actually just emptied everything in this house out. I'm going to refurnish and add a fence, redo the pool, build a pool house, build a cinema and an apartment upstairs, an upstairs apartment cinema in the backyard. So I had an architect over here today
Cool.
looking at all that. I don't have time. I don't have time.
I see.
So there's that. And then also I pay a lot of attention to the pages I follow. I feel like if you look at a person's, if you're to look at a person's feed, you have an inside track of how they think.
True.
Like
Yeah.
your brain and how your brain's going to get molded and what's going to inspire you and what's going to get your attention is a direct result of what you follow on social media. So I'm following like architecture pages, actually, construction pages, real estate pages. So when I open it up and I see Ken McElroy talking about interest rates, if I'm on Instagram and I'm learning about interest rates, in some way I'm winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
And so the way I try to handle my social media is I try to really pay attention to the things that I'm following. So that way, when I get hit in the face with something, when I open my phone, at least hopefully it's something educational.
Something good.
Now, I'll tell you lately, I've been getting screwed over because I really like these nature's metal pages where like alligators are eating dogs and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they started partnering up with these OnlyFans girls. So I open my phone and there's like titties in my face. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this fucking page
Yeah.
for him to collab with some hooker.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah. So I might have to give up on some of my nature pages, but that's actually very new. We've been laughing about that shit because these girls are like in these fishnet and you clearly see their titties.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I didn't sign up for this page to see this shit.
No,
So,
you're a man of God.
clearly.
Obviously.
So
in you travel around a lot. Obviously,
Yep.
you're always moving. Initially, when we first talked, you were in Dubai, and then you had to go to the States, and then you were in Miami. Now you're in Louisiana now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably next week you're going to be somewhere else again.
Yeah. So it was Dubai, Miami, Baton Rouge, taking my dad on the sidelines this weekend. Somebody that follows me, old LSU, Ole Miss player. Shout out to my boy Cody. taking a sideline passes for the Ole Miss Alabama game. College game day is going to be there. Super excited about it.
Cool.
Then coming back to Louisiana to finish closing on this property, going to Ohio, going to buy that mobile home park, going to go speak at the War Room event in Louisville, and then back down to Louisiana, start working on the rest of the due diligence for the mobile home park in Louisiana. From there, I'll go to Miami, do collabs, et cetera, et cetera. And before I left Miami, I did 3 podcasts in 18 hours.
Oh,
So
awesome, man.
yeah,
Doing very well. Like
it's
with
hard, it's hard to look at social media when you're moving, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean that is 100% true. That is something that everyone watching should pay close attention to. Like I think Grant Cardone has saying like an empty calendar invites the devil or something. But it's
idle
really
time,
cool.
man.
Yeah,
idle time.
It doesn't work. Like, but with your schedule, with you moving around so much, how do you handle relationships, man? With I'm talking now with girls, so. I don't think you're into dudes, right?
No, not this week. I'll find that women really respect it. It costs me in regards to like, I don't care enough sometimes to keep up with some relationships. There's, they understand, man. They get it. You got to try to text a little bit. Chat a little shit here and there, send a meme or two, but then you lose them, and they come back and you lose them. The main thing is to be on your fucking mission.
Yes.
Because what ends up happening is you end up kind of haunting your dreams a little bit in a positive way.
Yeah.
And so if you're charming, you're kind, and they can see all the work you're doing, how can they not respect it? And I think we all know from the War Room, respect equals love.
100%.
So I think they end up, really admiring you for the work that you're doing, and they can see that you're not full of shit. There's a difference between saying you're busy and not doing shit, and actually being busy and having receipts to prove it. True. And I certainly have those receipts to prove that I'm getting things done, and I'm moving, I'm shaking, and I'm trying to make the best life for myself. So what are they going to do? Get mad at me or try to be a part of that life? And so I found that in that way, it's super easy to respect my schedule and respect what I'm doing. And I try to answer when they text. I try to text myself when I remember. I don't. I'm bad about that. Does it cost me a few girls? Yeah, but bro, it's not a hard point in my life, that particular subject.
No.
And it's also, and I'll tell you another thing. It's also not really a priority. I absorb way more women than I chase. In fact, I don't particularly chase any. It's really more. I really more absorb women. I wouldn't even say that I'm a good person to talk to about game. I'm actually super lazy when it comes to the subject. I can't be bothered. So my game. What
do you mean when you say absorb?
Absorb to me. So most men, or a lot of guys, they'll watch like pickup artistry, or they're like, do this in your text game, blah, blah, blah. I don't. I'm more of the person that you can clearly see he's working hard. You can clearly see he's trying to do these things. Every time I talk to him, he's super kind. If I see him, he's super kind. He's in the moment. He's with me. He picks up the bill. God, he was amazing. I didn't hear from him for a while, but I see what he's doing. Yeah. So they come to me rather than me chasing them. And they respect so the messages I'll get, I know how busy you are, but I've been thinking about you. This is my schedule I got a message today. This is my schedule for December. I'd love to come down to Miami and see you. I'm like, all right, cool. Oh, hey, exclamation point. So glad to hear from you. Which all true, by the way.
Yeah, true.
And so again, it's like no manipulation. This is what it is. I'm super busy. It doesn't mean I don't care about you. I'm just working, and they see that, man. And women pick horses, bro. They pick winning horses. They bet on horses. When women stay with men, for example, let's say I had something bad happen and I went bankrupt tomorrow. Yeah. Right? Let's just say, knock on wood. Yeah. Women would still want to be with me because they're like, no, that dude's a winning horse. Yeah. Like when I was younger and I hadn't quite gotten where I wanted to get yet, I still had women that would want to be with me because they're like, man, he's working harder than the other guys his age. Yeah. He's going to make it. So be that dude. Be the guy that's actually busy. There's no reason to manipulate a girl and tell her you're busy when you're not. Just be fucking busy.
True.
Be fucking getting after it. They see it. It's real. It's tangible. You don't have to lie about it. It's completely down the pipe. One of my favorite quotes is a business quote. And I forget who said it. I think it's the guy that owns Berkshire Hathaway. What's that guy's name?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about, the old guy.
Yeah, the older guy, right?
He said that there's enough room in the center of the court. Why would I ever need to play out of bounds?
That's good.
And I really resonate with that, man. There's enough room right down the pipe that if you work hard enough, then you never have to manipulate, you never have to really lie, and you don't really ever have to cheat anybody.
Yeah.
You know, there's enough room in the center of the court, you never had to play out of bounds.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. Yeah.
I like to do my business that way. I like to do my interactions with women that way. And I find that even if they don't like what I'm telling them, especially in regards to other women, I'm the only motherfucker telling them the truth.
Yeah. At least you're
real.
real.
Know other guys are trying to do it. But if you're that guy, you can absorb women instead of chase them. And then it's their idea, not yours. And when it's their idea, I think you're a lot better off.
And have you always had that mindset, like sort of an abundance mindset? Was that always there in you?
Bro, yeah, I've always had some swag. I can like even at a young age, I feel like I had some swag about me.
Cool.
Yeah. I remember being a young kid. Like, this ain't new. These girls been doing my homework since 6th grade, man. So, you know.
The people in the chat say Warren Buffett. That's the guy, right?
It was Warren Buffett. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's true. And like do you ever see yourself like settling down or like having 4 wives or 1 wife or doing the monk life? How do you see that?
I think time will tell. I think that is my personal opinion of it is what you want in life is choice. Whether you want 1 wife, 2 wives, 3 wives, or 50 girlfriends, what you want is choice. And so, you know, when I'm talking to a young guy, or if I was talking to one of my children, I would, you know, what I would want to give them as a father or as a mentor would be truth. This is how the world works. This is the truth about the world. Here is some competencies and things to get yourself ahead in the world, because ultimately what I want you to have for yourself is choice.
True. And
so if I can give truth and guidance, I ultimately want for myself and for anybody I love to have choice.
Yeah.
Because if you can deal with the truths and you understand the repercussions, whether good or bad, of what you do or the decisions that you make, you're ultimately left with a decision to make. And hopefully, if you've done everything that you're supposed to do correctly with the information that you've been, the truth that you have and what you know how to do, you can create a scenario where you have choice in your life. And so for me, I absolutely believe in family, absolutely believe in children, and love. I believe in love completely. And so for me, I think that I'm creating a scenario for myself where I have ultimately choice. And so whether I decide to make that 1 woman, 10 women, 50 women, or just 1, it's just what's going to make me happy in said stage of my life. Because I do believe in time, we all change.
Yeah.
What we want changes. And that's why I'm constantly looking into the future to constantly ask myself that question. What do I want that life to look like? So I can get excited about building it and climbing that mountain. So I just take the information I have and the competencies I have and move towards the life I choose to have. But I absolutely believe in love and family and children. And I don't suspect that I'll have plenty of children and plenty of love for that matter.
Good for you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Let me ask you 2 more questions, then I'll let you go, and
fire away. Yep.
Let's say we go to an alternate dimension, and you become a Justin, whose life is average. Like maybe your physique is shit. You're in a middle management job, ugly wife. Like you're stuck, like a lot of people, a lot of men specifically. How do you get out of that situation? If someone's watching and is in that dead end situation right now, what do you do to turn your life around?
I start with my physical body. Fitness is the foundation of everything. Your entire life can change in 18 months if you get in shape. People treat you differently. People respect you in a different way. People assume you have discipline. People trust you more. They think you're smarter. You getting in shape is the most life-changing thing that you can possibly do for yourself.
Yeah.
That's number one. That's the first thing. From there, I'd go find more consciousness. I would join the war room. I would learn more about the world. I would learn more about psychology and human nature, which is something I know that we cover in a huge way in the war room.
Sure.
So I would start with getting in shape. I'd find a group of people that resonate with me and the goals that I want to have, that line up with the choices I want to make. It goes back to choice, and find a group of guys that are not gonna that are gonna help me not have to apologize for wanting the life that I want. So when the world tries to come at me with guilt, which is what happens to most men, they get guilted into being suppressed, that I have a group of men that are on the same page with me, that can be that stable rock reminding me, pushing me into that fire to change the life. So fitness and atmosphere, I think, are the two biggest things a man can do to set himself up to be successful or to change the path that he's currently on.
True.
And you got to have some courage to do both. But I
Obviously.
think if you do those things, then you can flip your whole life around in a very, very, very short period of time.
Yeah. And it's fully within your control as well, right?
What's that?
It's fully within your control. It's not like this is like you
Oh,
need a
bro,
divine
and it happens
intervention.
all the time. It happens all the time.
Yeah. And then you got things pretty, you got your stuff in order. So what's next for you, man? What's the next mountain for you to climb?
So I'm gonna do my best to continue to buy real estate. When it comes to my YouTube channel, I've dabbled with certain types of content. A lot of what I do is very serious and a lot of times very legal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to share my day to day, but I'm going to try to find a way to share my day to day without exposing too much or getting myself in trouble with clients or partners or anybody like that. And I think just to do my best to spread who I am, what I'm about, in hopes that I find more people that align with me, and that way we can work together and grow together. So I really just want to stay on the path that I'm on, keep going, and keep finding more consciousness, bigger mountains to climb, and take my business and myself to higher places. I don't think you ever stop developing. I learn from people every day. I learn from guys in the war room. I certainly learn from, my friends. I feel like I have the best group of friends in the world. You couldn't ask for a better group of friends than my friends. I always have, if there's anything that I really, really want to dig into, there's the generals in the war room. There's Iggy, for Christ's sake, probably one of the most hardest working men in the war room.
Yeah.
And he and I don't even see eye to eye all the time, but it doesn't change the fact that I respect, admire, and love the man.
Yeah, sure.
And he's taught me a bunch of things. Ian has been great. There's been times in the very beginning where Jonathan has shown me things, and I'm listening off war room guys now. But case in point, why you guys that are watching, if you're not in the war room, you should join the fucking war room.
True.
I'm helping guys get in there every day. If you want to get in, it is a plug. Gotcha. But Jay Waller 7, and I'm completely unapologetic about it, because I feel like if you're gonna sell anything in this world, if you don't believe in it so much that if you think that, basically this is what I tell the guys that help me get guys in the war room. If we don't believe in the war room so much that we feel like we're fucking a guy over if he doesn't join, then we shouldn't be helping people get in the war room at all.
Yeah, it wouldn't be ethical.
So
True.
I want to be able to do business in life non-apologetically, honestly, right down the pipe, right in the center of the court, because there's enough room in the center of the court that you don't have to play out of bounds. So as long as I can keep living my life that way and I continue to win and grow people and grow myself, and we can do it together, then I'm going to live a really, really happy life. And I couldn't be more happy in my life. It's completely fulfilling in every way. It means the world to me when people stop me in public and ask for photos. It happens almost every day now.
Cool,
And
man.
it's cool as fuck. And I'm not going to sit here and act cool like it's not, like I'm too cool for it. Nope. You have
No,
made
man.
my day when you stop me and say, can we take a photo? It means
Yeah,
everything.
sure.
It means the world to me, man. So hopefully I can continue to grow that influence towards the things that I love. And if I can do that, I feel like I've been very successful.
Awesome, man. That's a great answer, and that's I mean, also a great note to end off with. But thanks so much for coming on, man. I very much appreciate it. Looking forward to our next meeting in real life, and
Yeah,
very
I
much
am as
appreciate it,
well.
man.
Arno, man, always a pleasure, bro.
Thanks, man.
All right, brother.
All right, bye now.